We're all familiar with how long a second feels. It's brief. And we often talk about how long deep time is, for example, millions or billions of years. But if you look into a second, you will find a terrifyingly longer amount of time hiding in there. Let's look at how much can happen in a single second. This is the scale at which we feel time passing from moment to moment. But this isn't the speed at which time actually flows. This is just our subjective experience of it. And in that 1 second, there is so much that can happen. The device we're going to use today will allow us to slow down fast things so they only vibrate once a second. And we will see how long it would take for them to complete their cycles. Let's slow down time. So 1 second is 1 minute. Now we can see the movement of the hummingbird and its wings beating. The hummingbird beats its wings 50 times a second. For a hummingbird, we must seem like sluggish giants. Let's slow down 1 second so it's equal to 3 minutes. Here we can see the toadfish firing its bladder 200 times a second, the fastest muscle in any animal with a spine. Now we slow down 1 second to 10 minutes and we can see the beating of the mosquito's wings. That annoying sound you hear is the mosquito's wings moving 600 times a second. At a similar scale, we can see an entire sun's worth of mass spinning at 700 times per second. This is the fastest known pulsar. Slowing down 1 second to 16 minutes, we can see a 1 millimeter biting midge flapping its wings 1,000 times a second, the fastest muscle contractions in nature. Now we slow down 1 second to 5.5 hours. The highest frequency of sound you can hear is your eardrum physically moving back and forth 20,000 times a second. And this is what that would look like at this much slowdown. Next, let's slow down 1 second to 9 hours. Here we can see the quartz crystal used in a watch that vibrates 32,768 times per second. And on similar time scales, we can also see a dog's eardrum vibrating 16 hours at 1 pulse a second. Now let's go even further. Let's break up a second into 100,000 pieces. A hunting bat screams in ultrasonic, 100,000 vibrations a second, and reads the returning echoes to catch moths. Next, we slow down a second to 57 days. This is how long it would take to see the 5 million per second vibrations made by an ultrasound machine. Now, a big jump. A computer does 2 billion operations per second. If we slowed down time so that we could actually see these happening, it would take 63 years to see the amount of computation that is done in an actual second. The most accurate way that we can measure time is using the cesium clock, which ticks 9 billion times a second. It would take 3 centuries of time to just look at its vibrations from 1 second. The bonds in water that make us up vibrate 100 trillion times a second. And so if you wanted to look at these vibrations in real time, 1 second would last 3 million years. The green light entering your eye right now is a wave cresting 550 trillion times a second. If you wanted to see this wave vibrate in real time, 1 second would last 17 million years. A gamma ray, the most violent type of light there is, oscillates 100 billion trillion times a second. If you wanted to see this wave vibrate in real time, a single second of vibrations would last 3 quadrillion years. That is about 230,000 times the current age of the universe. So it would be 230,000 times longer than the universe has been around. Now, to go from our subjective experience of time, we went 22 orders of magnitude smaller, dividing by 10 22 times to get to the vibrations of a gamma ray. The universe's true frame rate, the Planck time, is just as much further. So think of all the distance that we covered and how much we had to slow down to go from the heartbeat to the gamma ray. And do that again. This number is so unimaginably small that there is no reasonable frame of reference to even talk about it. Not the current age of the universe, not anything else. Time at the smallest scale is so small It cannot be reasonably described. And every second you experience, all of this is happening inside of you. Eons and eons and eons are passing, just as we sit absolutely frozen in time.